Hello and welcome to my Ever Messy Art Studio. My name is Keeks, and today we're gonna play with Vogue Magazine because I finally got some in. So I've got my gel plate out, and I'm just gonna put just a touch of black in the middle. And what I'm gonna do is, instead of only doing one layer of black, I'm gonna do 2 layers because Devin Rex for Art tried this, and what you do is you put down 1 layer of paint, let it totally dry, and then do a 2nd layer of paint and then do your image transfer. And today's image transfer that I'm gonna try is this from the Vogue magazine. It's like a Marie Antoinette, and I absolutely love it. I actually like what's on the back of it too. But I thought we could try this because I did blow it up and contrast it and put it in black and white, and I think this might be an image that could work for us. So I am very excited to see if we can get an image that works, because as you know, I have been struggling with that. So give me 1 second and we'll get set up. So as you saw, I put a little dupe of black on there, and so I'm just gonna go ahead and get it all rubbed out. Supposedly you only need a pea-size amount, so that's what I'm gonna try to use here. And we wanna get it very, very matte looking. So we're just gonna do our best here to get it as matte and flat as possible. I think that looks pretty good. So then what we're gonna do is let this layer dry. And when this layer dries, we're gonna put a 2nd layer of black on top of it. I'm just gonna put a little brayer off sheet here. So we're just gonna give this guy a minute to dry, and then we'll be right back. Okay, so this is hopefully dry now. It's been drying here for a little bit. And I'm gonna go ahead and do another dollop of black. Just a little bit, not a lot. And I'm gonna go ahead and put this over it again, so that we get kind of double exposure. Now, I don't know why, but I'm seeing that's leaving black spots in the middle, and we don't want that. So I might put just a little bit more in there. That way we can get it in there. There we go. So I want to make sure that we get our image good. Can't do that if we got weird holes and everything. Dollop that off a little bit. I'm seeing some streakies, so I'm just going to go through it again. And that looks pretty matte black now. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our image, set her down, and really push it down, and hope that this works. Because my goodness, I feel like we've waited long enough for these Vogue magazines, so hopefully it'll work. All right, let's go ahead and start the peel up. Huh. I see her face in there. Her face is up there. So the rest of this must be the dress. So what I think we can do here is, I think we can work with that. And what I want to do is I want to get some of my pan pastels out and then color in her dress, because I feel like that would be something really fun to do. But before we do that, let's go ahead and let this dry and give it a minute. That way we're not accidentally pulling away any of the details. Okay, so I think the first color I'm going to use is called Burnt Sienna Tint. So it's a lighter color, and I'm just going to wiggle some of it on here and just gently rub her face with it. And I can see her face sticking out here, so it's perfect. So we got her face in there. And then I'm thinking we want some red cheekies. So I'm gonna go ahead and use Burnt Sienna Tint again. I'm just gonna rub some little cheeky weekies on there. Like that. And then I'm seeing that she has hair sticking out. So let's see what we've got in browns. Let's see here. Got kind of some dark browns. Maybe we can do that over her hair and that could be good. Oops. Okay, so let's do a reddish brown. So I've got this one right here, which is red iron oxide shade. I'm just gonna rub some of that in there. I'm just gonna do it anywhere that I think hair is probably going to be seeping through. So I can't really tell where the hair is, but I'm just gonna kind of go with it. Try my best. There we go. So we've got that in there. And then let's do purple for the dress. That could be pretty. So I'm just gonna rub in some purple here. And we should also be able to start seeing some of the details through this as we go. Like I can see some of the ruffles shining through, which is really good. There's some of that ruffled sleeve. So it's kind of hard doing this. This is the first time I've ever tried this technique because this is the first time an image has somewhat looked like it's gonna work. But what I think is really interesting about this is you can like semi-see some of the details as they pop through. Not all of them, but you can see some stuff popping through here. I see a big leg there, so I don't necessarily want to get that leg in there. I definitely see ruffles. Maybe we can't get that leg in there. Like that. We can just go over it with another color if we're worried about it. It's very hard to tell what's going on in here though. Okay, so I've got some of that color in there, and maybe we can add something else in there just for fun. I'm not sure how thick we can go with this, but we can try some of this in here just to give us some extra colors in here. Maybe that'll look pretty. And then we have a couple of choices. We could either do matte medium or white underneath it. Or really you can do any color you want, but those are the two colors that I'm thinking. So I think I'm gonna do white, titanium white. I'm just gonna put a little dollop over her. I'm not sure how much is needed to really trap that pan pastel in there, but we'll figure it out. Really get it all in there nice and matte. Don't want too much. And if there is too much, you can roll it off a little bit. Let's see what we end up with here, because I'm very excited to see what could happen. So I'm going to get a piece of paper and just using typing paper, I'm going to lay it down and just kind of rub it down on this paint. And hopefully what should happen is it's going to pull all the way up. And we should also get that pan pastel on there, which would be very nice. So I'm just gonna let this dry for a minute because I don't know what would be better, honestly, picking it up wet or dry. So I'm gonna try it dry and see what happens. And then kind of go from there. Still gonna keep rubbing on this. I'm gonna pull up a corner here and see what exactly is gonna be happening here. Not all of the white is coming up, it looks like. Wow. Okay, so that turned out really interesting. So we've got ourselves a ghost woman in there, and we still have her in there. She's still got a ghost print. So what we could do is go ahead and put a little bit more white down and see if we can grab her again. So what did I do with my white paint? There it is right there. Okay, so let's go ahead and try, maybe we could try a different color. Let's try pink and see what pink does. That could be cool. Whoa, big old paint booger on there. Oh, look at that. All right, so I'm gonna pop a little bit of pink. Just a little bit. There we go. And I'm gonna roll it over. And then we're gonna try again to pull up. So I'm going to just take a piece of white paper again, smush it down. That's just my chair making noises. Need to get a new one or something. I'm really tired of it doing that. That's okay. So let's go ahead and pull this up and see what it's doing. So that just gave me blank paper, but she is clearly still on there. Huh, interesting. Let's try just putting down a piece of paper on it and see what happens. That didn't do anything either, but I can still clearly see her on there. It's very odd. Maybe if we put some more black down again. I'm sure somebody's gonna watch this and be like, no, there's a better way. But I don't know what that better way would be. Because somehow that print is still there. So let's try this and see if anything interesting happens with this. Because I can see the print on there. I don't know how to get it off. I do still think this turned out pretty cool with that double imprint technique. The next one I do, I'll probably do it single wise and see what happens. But yeah, it's pretty cool. You can see her cheeks and stuff that we made too. So let's just pull this up. Yeah, very bizarre. I can definitely see the print on there. It's just not doing anything now. Okay. Well, let's try going over it with a baby wipe and see if we can just get some of that pigment off. Just give me 1 second to do that. Maybe with the baby wipe again. Now I know that some of this will not come off because I use pan pastels on it. And with pan pastels, what you have to do is use baby oil on your sheet, I think. That's okay. So I'm just gonna clean this off, and I wanna try another image and see if we get better results. So I've got that. Here's just a regular paper towel to dry it off. Here we go. So now let me find another image in our Vogue magazine to try out. I think in that same area there was actually black and white pictures. So let's take a look at that. So we've got these pictures here. I really like this one, but I also like what's on the back of it too. So we can try that and just do both the front and the back. I think that would be fun. So let's try it. And we'll do the black first. Okay, and this time I'm not going to do it doubled. I'm just going to do a single row of black. And let's do this image here, and we'll do this other one afterwards. See what we can pull up here. Okay. Ooh, this one's gonna be really cool. Okay. So we've got it down. We're gonna give it a moment to dry. And on this one, I can really see it well. Like I feel like I can see it a lot better than the other one. Let's do maybe some bright red with this one, could be cool. Let's see if it's dry. It's a little tacky right now, so I think I should wait a second. What we could do is do maybe a little dot of red and a little dot of pink. Could be fun, just to kind of see how these colors interact together. All worked in there, and I think that should be okay. So let's see what this pickup's going to look like. I'm just going to do it on the back of our paper that we've already done. Oh no. Oh, yeah, it did do it. It just looks weird. So there she is right there. I don't think that pink was the right option. I should have went with white. But that's okay. Now we know, but we can see her, and then here's her cape. I think that would have probably worked better if I would have went ahead and used the pan pastels again on it. That's okay. So let's try again with black. Just keep practicing. I want to try and do another one. I think that looks good, and I'm actually going to do this other side that has kind of like an Edward Scissorhands look to it. Just kind of rub that down. Peel it up. Ooh, that's cool. I can see the scissors up here. I can see her face in there. Like, that's just really cool. Okay, so let's see here. Let's try some colors again. Just kind of go for it. Let's do her face. A raw sienna color, so it's kind of a tan color, so that maybe it'll stand out a little bit. So there's her face, and then we've got these scissors. Let's do the scissors light purple. Those are over here. That way they really stick out. And then maybe we can do her body this bright pink again. Let's see what happens when we play with some of these colors. I'm trying to use bright, vibrant colors. That way it'll hopefully pull up everything. Like I said, I've never done this technique before, but I've always wanted to. So I'm hoping that'll look pretty cool. Okay, so we've got that in there. And then let's put down some titanium white. Let's see what happens when we go to try to pull this up. I would think white would be good underneath the black, so that the colors would show up. But if I'm doing this wrong, or if you think I should be using that medium, let me know. Okay, so let's try this. Let's see what happens when I go to pick it up. Part of it came up, but not all of it. I'm still having some struggles in here, and I'm wondering if it has to do with all this, with the pan pastels. So let's try one without pan pastels and see what happens. So I'm just gonna wipe off where I've been playing here. Try to get it nice and cleaned off, because that's all pan pastel, I think. We don't want that. Let's get another baby wipe here. Okay, so let's try one more time here, just playing around. See what happens. If we only use the black and another color. So I'm not going to use any pan pastels this time for the pickup. We're just gonna try our best. Okay. So, oops, I probably should have had an image pulled out. Probably would have been helpful, huh? So let's do do this image right here. Oh, that seems to have worked out really well. I see the dress, I see her face. So it's pretty cool. And then we'll let it dry a little bit. And I'm gonna try to use red with this one. See what that does with it. Ooh, this red's not really spreading. It's not good. Put a scrimmage of pink in the middle there. See if maybe we can get some of those middle bits. Sounds weird. Now I can tell I've got too much paint, so I can see all these streakies everywhere, especially toward the top. It's a little bit better, I think. So let's try for a pickup. That one I can see the ghost of the image, but not really the image itself. Pretty strange. Let's try one last time then. We'll do the back of that image. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong now. I know the edges are dirty, which I know can contaminate your pool, but I don't think it would do the whole thing. Just going to try our best. And see what we can do. I'm going to use the back of this image. So I want to at least do one that I'm going to call a success here, hopefully. So, okay, so that looks really good. And I'm going to let this super dry. Okay, so I think it should be dry enough, so I'm going to put some white down again. And see if we can't get a proper pull. Got some white down. This is just not wanting to spread. I think it's my roller. Like, I have the worst problems with this roller, if I'm honest. Like, this is like a cheapy Amazon roller. And it has never worked right, in my opinion. I'm gonna just put a little bit more on there because I don't feel like that's right. There. Ow, it's covering. There we go, that looks pretty good. rub it down. Well, the dress looks good, but not the face. So what this means is I will keep practicing. So we did have one mediocrely successful pull. We did this pull, which wasn't terrible. We did this one. And then we also have this lady here. So if you stuck with me, thank you so much. Let me know if you're also having issues with this technique. I'm trying so hard, I feel like. But I would love to know your feedback. And I hope to hear from you next time. Thanks, bye.